I request Professor Titial for his experience on presbyopic phakic lenses. Thank you. You have to go to another course. You have to go to. I have to go to Titial's course.
शुरू हो गया sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
With a lot of time constraint. Thank you, Dr. Basheen, for including me in this, I think, very, very practical aspects of phakic IOLs. And looking into a presbyopic area, we do have a huge burden of presbyopic patients, and they do require some sort of surgical correction also, apart from giving optical corrections. And India, as such, we have a huge number of people suffering from a presbyopia who would either require glasses, or active people might require a surgical correction also. So what are the options we have as far as surgical correction are concerned? You have these laser-based corrections, but today I'm going to take you through the phakic IOL-based corrections, which are basically going to give you advantage of not disrupting the corneal anatomy and the corneal optics also, and can give you a very good outcome in these young patients suffering from presbyopia. So we do have two options now, one from Star Evo Viva, which gives you sort of, as Dr. Mahipal talked about, extended range of vision, EDOF ICL, which can give you a reasonably good near vision in these cases. And other one we have is IPCL presbyopic lenses produced by Care Group in India, which are basically hybrid lenses, which are acrylic material. And they have a huge dioptric range from 15 to 30 diopter. And if you look at cylinder also up to 10 diopter, you can customize these lenses for your patients of required, and near can be up to 1.5 to 4 diopters. So this refractive diffractive design, which is a trifocal design, which has a central 380 micron hole, gives you a nice option for these young patients also. As you heard initially, Dr. Purinder and Dr. Partha talking about, patient requires a good pre-surgery workup that includes similar workup like you for any ICL or IPCL cases to be suitable to this particular procedure. Looking at more important part will be at least 2.8 or more AC depth from the endothelium to anterior lens surface. And looking for a proper intraoperative orientation, vaulting is very important for these lenses also. Post-op, you saw that vaulting has to be assessed apart from the visual outcome, which will be for distance, near, intermediate, and look for any complications also. Surgery is very simple, as you saw in our previous cases also. I'll just go fast forward here. Loading of lens is similar. Always make sure you load the lenses in a proper manner so that you come out inside the dental chamber in a correct orientation also. So once I load the lens, inject under the viscoelastic. This is again a sodium hyaluronate 1%, gives you a very nice, easy implantation. If you feel your lens is not opening properly, you can always withdraw at this time also. The gentle implantation, slow implantation is key in any type of phakic IOL surgery. Here also you can see I'm putting very gently. These holes should be towards the superior side, and that gives a nice orientation. I think one of the important advantages, as I said, is you don't disrupt the corneal optics, which is very, very important. Reversibility is a feature in these cases. And this is the age group where if you have something like cataract development, you can always do a cataract surgery, all these patients also. So these are appropriate patients I've used from 38 to 55 group of patients, more than ACD more than 2.03, good density, and these are basic investigations which are required, especially look for a pupil diameter, which is very, very important for these patients. Accordingly, you can change the overall optic size of your lenses also. Around minus 0.5 diopter add on to the near correction is the power. Let me see, this is one of our patient, young 43-year-old patient, minus 6, minus 1, 8.51, good ACD, endothelial count, lens is clear. This is a OCT picture of same patient, good topography, tomography picture, which are compulsory to be done. When somebody asks the question, what all things to be done, these are things which we do. And this is added one examination we do for all phakic IOL patients to look for a DLI, which tells you that what is the lens aberration profile in these patients. You can see 10 is absolutely clear lens, and this patient is fit for surgery, both eyes. This is another patient with a similar refractive error, but DLI is very, very poor. That means lens has a lot of aberration. This patient may not require to be undergo phakic IOL. Maybe he is suitable for a clear lens extraction for these patients also. So this is my experience for last 3 years, in fact, 1 year more now. Done significant number of cases. The visual acuity in these patients has been absolutely very, very you can say, you look at uncorrected visual acuity for near, intermediate, and distance has been absolutely fantastic for these patients. Yes, we do have some patients having a little glare night driving, but that is also adaptable. And these are studies published from outside where they have also found good results in these patients in 6-month follow-up from a large range of patients also. So if you see my group of patients, I had 3 patients coming back with cataract and a little bit of fluctuation of vision happening in these patients also. So this is another patient who you can the pre-op workup is absolutely clear for a phakic IOL. This is at the end of 6 months. This is right and left eye. Improvement in the profile, aberration profile, MTF values are good. Patient has done so well. Another patient with a similar profile, decrease in our aberration profile because of a phakic IOL there, and improved MTF gives a good contrast in these patients also. And this is what sometimes you see, you should not dilate too much in an immediate post-op period because dilatation and pupil size can change the bolt in these cases also. Though that is very insignificant, but it can be sometimes if you keep it dilated too long, the lens ball can change and your near correction can get deviated. Complications are very rare, as you saw in our ICL presentation. Same thing for IPCL also. But this is the age group which is slightly older. The lens may be a little compromised sometimes. So you have to look for a lens rise, the nucleus sclerosis, anterior subcapsular cataract may be seen in these patients also. This is one of my patients undergone 2 years ago, presbyopic IPCL, had a good vision in a post-op, but left eye started developing decrease in the vision. We looked for DLI in this patient and had a very poor DLI and a lot of internal aberration from this patient. Cornea was quite healthy as such. So he had to undergo cataract surgery where explantation was simple. Like you saw Dr. Ramamurthy showing how to explant these lenses, 2.2 incision. This lens can be taken out with 2.2 itself. You can see, just lift the one end of haptics, and by changing the hand, you can just pull it out the lens from 2.2 and do the complete surgery here. You can do a femtosecond laser surgery in these cases also. So this is how routine surgery can be done, and can implant desired lens for this patient also. So surgery is simple as such, and this is the same patient. After surgery, I put a trifocal lens in this patient and had a very, very nice outcome in the post-op period also. So this is an advantage having these patients. They know they are in an age group where they can have cataract development, and that can be corrected with a suitable option also. So if I see one option for a presbyopic patient would be a presbyopic IPCL, which is readily available in India, and you can customize the lenses for your patient. It is available in 0.2 diopter change also. And perfection can be achieved in these patients. Complication rates are very less, but yes, you have to keep looking for a lens involvement, look for an intraocular pressure, posterior segment changes, and results will be very, very satisfactory in these patients also. So these are books, and this is a new book which is going to be launched in AIOS just now, IOL power calculation made easy. This also includes the IOL power calculation of IPCL, ICLs, and post-surgery also. Thank you for kind listening.
Thank you, Professor Tityal, sir. Just one quick question. When will you plan clear lens extraction, and when will you plan the monovision? What will you prefer? These are.
I think those patients where you have anatomy who doesn't allow you to put these phakic IOLs, there you have an option of especially very high degree of refractive errors, especially hypermetropes, where normally anatomy is little compromised there. There you have an option of doing a clear lens extraction. And these patients also don't have too much of posterior segment problems compared to high myopic patients. But yes, if you have a patient developing cataract subsequent to phakic IOLs, there we have a challenge because sometimes the myopia may have been minus 18, 16. So they are not suitable for a multifocal lens. So that's a challenge where we have to put a monofocal lens. And yes, there we can give a little option of a monovision, which can give a little advantage for these patients. Otherwise, if they are bilateral, they are suitable for a multifocal, I'll put multifocal in both eyes.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So what is the, please go ahead, Dr. Bharti. In the meantime, we'll discuss. Sir, any question, Dr. Partha? So in, say, low myopes or -3 diopters, -4 diopters, so, and presbyopic age group, so you will plan this presbyopic phakic lens or?
The lower cutoff has been around 1.5, 1.75 diopter myopia. Anything more than 2 diopter myopia with little bit cylinder sometimes, we do, if patient is willing, we do take him for a presbyopia IPCL. But it is patient who are emmetrophs, which are little bit of low myopes, they are not suitable for these cases because the access very good without the, these corrections.
Thank
So
you.
we have to
We are
choose a
just-
patient here.
Yeah.
I think the ICL has come up with the presbyopic positioning ICLs, and IPCL is already there. So I think it is important to assess the patient and the needs of the patient, requirement of the patient, and to do a good dilated examination, even in a 45-year-old person, that there is no significant cataract or a cataract is not arising in the periphery, which might in a few years' time come in. So if it is, if a cataractous change has become, is possible or is there, then of course